Okay, so let's get this done out of the way because I want to play some Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Opus 4 is not... I mean, I don't think it's out for like another week, but for some reason my local game store actually had them early, so whatever. So I bought about 9 or so packs. Let's get to it because, like I said, I want to play some Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I'm actually really excited for Opus 4. I think it's a really great set. It's actually really got me back into the game as well, so I'm hoping that with this we'll get some really cool and interesting cards. And with 9 packs, I'm sure I'm bound to get something very, very cool at least. So let's just back up a little bit here, get a little bit of room, and we shall start with all of the packs. I guess we'll put these over here. So, pack number 1, they sell them at 1 penny cheaper at my local game store. So that's kind of why you see these odd price tags at £3.69. Let's get straight into it and see what is available. Again, I think Opus 4 is a really great set. Just as a bit of backstory here, or not, I wouldn't say backstory, but these packs, let's take this off, there we go. So these packs here are Opus 4. Basically, there's a whole new mechanic in Opus 4, so, you know, expansion number 4 if you want to call it that. So in Opus 4, there was a whole new mechanic, and it's called the monsters, and the monsters are fun as hell. I'm really, really into the monsters. I think they add a lot to the game. I mean, they do add a lot to the game. They're very, very strange cards, and they make the game very, very fun. I think the rate that the game is played, how it's played, is just gone completely, you know, out the window, because these monsters in the game are doing silly, silly things, absolutely silly things that have just completely changed how the game is played entirely. And what we're going to do is we're going to see some here as well. So we've got a Wind White Mage, Sage, Black Mage, lots of standard units. Here we go. Here's a Dragon Monster. We'll put that to the side and go over that. We've got a new standard unit. That's cool. So, not seeing this yet. When S for Soul enters the field, choose one forward, cost for less opponent controls, and dull it. That is really good. We've got a Ghoul Monster, a Goblin Monster. Perfect. Needed that exactly. I need that card. That's perfect. Already off to a great start. Leviathan EX, Remedy, Hecaton Chair, the new one. So this is choose one forward you control and one forward opponent controls. Each forward deals damage to equal to its power as the others, or something like that. So that's a bit of a weird one, but it's an alternate version of Hecaton Chair. Rayo Senna. And I got a Hero Setzer even. So the thing about this is that this is actually my second little packs opening, because if you look at my video, one of my previous videos, I went to an Opus 4 event, and I did get quite a lot of good cards there as well. One of the things I do like about this as well is that we've now got Theatrhythm cards. I really like the artwork for this as well. But let's have a look at the monsters quickly, while I just kind of go over what they do. So monsters are a new mechanic in the game. So let's pick these ones here. These are the 3 types of cards you get in the game. So if you have been playing Final Fantasy, then you'll be, if you haven't been playing Final Fantasy, the card game, you'll be familiar with this, which is your forwards, your backups, and then your summons. These are 3 types of cards that you get. Forwards got the front, backups got the back, and summons can be played at any time. However, monsters are just stupidity. I mean, they're not as, I guess, over the top as I'm making them out to be, but there are some really, really insane cards, and the combos that these monsters are going to bring is just it's completely changing the way the game is being played. It's a huge, huge update. So these are, again, the originals, and these are the new monster cards that we're getting here. So you can see there's a little bit of a difference. I mean, you can see the kind of artwork we've got at the top. So your forwards are like this, the backups have this, and summons like this. Monsters have this kind of top here. And you can see it says there as well, you've got monsters. So in case you missed this one here, you've got your forward, your backup. So as you can see, it says backup and then summon. Now your monsters, they've all got a special kind of ability, and they all do something different, and you can play multiple of them as well. And again, you'll see why these are so crazy. So this one here is Goblin. Goblin is actually one that I really want to use, because there's an interesting combo idea that I've got. So I'm really happy I've already got 1 Goblin. Just need 2 more and I'm set. So put Goblin into the break zone. Choose one full. It gains 2,000 power to the end of the turn. That's just insane. Cool. So I don't know. You've got your forward there. You've got your backup, and then you've got a monster in the middle. And then you're like, all right, cool. I'm going to attack and just get rid of Goblin. That goes off the field. This now gains 2,000 power. It's a 1-turn buff, but man, you can do some really crazy things to catch your opponent off, so it's quite interesting. This one here, just for 1 ice and any other element and tap, so that means it goes to the side, you get to choose any forward and just dole it. You can dole even your own if you wanted to. And again, that can be played at any point. Put dragon into the break zone, choose 1 monster of cost 4 less and break it. So this is another way to deal with monsters. It can be really good for against like Adamantoise if they're about to block. You can then, so say for example, you swing, they then have like, I don't have Adamantoise here, I've got it in the collection, but say they've got Adamantoise as a monster, Adamantoise, they then say block, let's choose a forward, do I have any forwards? They then block, so this then has 3000 less damage given onto it. Then you can use the dragon to be like, alright cool, I'm going to break dragon, and now the Adamantoise is broken, so therefore you've now blocked, and this is going to swing at you for 7k. So the monsters are changing everything at the moment. It's completely insane. And then we've got another crazy part here as well. For just 1 lightning and any other element, put dragon into the break zone, choose 1 forward of cost 4 or less, and just break it. It's like cool. So here, this is a forward. Alright, it's 4 or less, cool. I'm just going to break it with just by paying 2. It's for a 2-drop as a monster, man, yeah, monsters are so fascinating. I'm really excited to see how the game is going to go now. Really interesting mechanic in the game. So that's kind of, again, like I said, where we're at with the forward monsters and forwards, backups and summons. Monsters are just, they're completely changing. There are some as well where monsters can turn into forwards for a turn, or they can at any point turn into a forward. It's really interesting. Really interesting. So this is really exciting. It's definitely going to get me back into the game, because I've been kind of phasing out of it when Opus 3 came out. So we've got the new Fire Goblin. I'm not going to be using this one, it's not the one I'm looking out for. I'm going to read all of these cards at some point afterwards as well, to see if there's any that I really want to use. So we've got Monk, Knight. I realised as well that Opus 4 has a lot of standard units. It's a very heavy standard unit deck. This is a really good card here. Discard 1 card, then draw 2. So for 1 drop, like, and if it's since it's a summon, you can do something like the Summoner backup, where you can just play any summon 2 or less from your hands for free, just by tapping the backup. So this can now be played for free. There's loads of little tricks like that. Really good Viking card here. When it enters the field, draw a card. When it leaves the field, draw a card. It's water has got a lot of draw power in Opus 4. We've got another standard unit, which is interesting. It's a Chocobo as well. Choose 1 forward. When it enters the field, you can give another card haste. Here's Yeoman. This is from Final Fantasy 13-2, yeah. Another new monster. And we've got the Hero Kefka. I actually do already have this card as well. I did manage to pull this from a pack from when I went to the Final Fantasy Opus 4 event at Calamity Comics. Check them out. Tombray's amazing card. This is a really damn good card. Just quickly, I want to explain this card a little bit before I go any further. And I mean, I'll come back to it even. So we've got Sid, I've already got, and that one I've already got, and the Hero Azul as well, which is the new forward. So Tombray's is an interesting card, basically because as soon as it enters a field, you can damage another forward for 2000 power, and then you can also put the Tombray's back into the break zone, and it then deals another 4. So say for example you're in a layout like this, where you've got the opponent's forwards, then you've got your forward facing them, and you're like, okay, cool, I'm going to do Tonberry, so I'm going to do 2000 to this, and then by the way I'm now going to break that Tombray, and I've done 2000. You've just done 4000 just by playing this card out and then getting rid of it. You've done 4000. Or what the second ability is you can do put for 1 water, put it into the break zone, and then do 4000 damage. So you can put it out for 2, do 2k on this, pay for 1 water, and then you do another 4k on this. So it's now taken 6. It's really interesting, these monsters. Tonberries in particular, if you're looking to get in Final Fantasy, grab yourself a set of these, because these are going to be very good cards, as I've seen at the event as well. So the cool thing is there as well, I've got the Hero Kefka, which is a foil, very nice card. I'm looking to play Kefka myself, the Hero Kefka, no, Earth Kefka, sorry. This is the funny thing about Opus 4, is that when you open a pack, you're sometimes greeted with the new monster Flan. So as you're opening up, you just get this shit like looking face coming at you. So we've got Flan, we've got Magus, Mime, the new Mime that is, Archer, the new Archer, new Dragoon, okay, Bengar Thief, Scholar, or Orlando, which is cool because I am actually interested in playing this card as well. I think it's really interesting just because of the ability itself. When it enters the field, choose one damage forward and break it. So you could literally do Ton Berets, put in Orlando, and there you go, you've now managed to break a card. It's that combo there alone works, and it's really interesting. So the fact I've got a nice foil was quite nice. I've got Wedge, a run center. Oh, that's cool. Nashu, that's from Final Fantasy 14, and the hero Rauben, which is again another interesting card. Rauben, the backup EX burst. Man, that was a really annoying card to go against, but it's cool to see that it's come back out. Just put this all here. So I'm pretty sure if you haven't played Final Fantasy, now's a good time to get into it, as there's a new mechanic and everyone's learning these kind of new setups and stuff. It might be a little bit overwhelming at first, again, because at first you just had forwards, backups, and summons, and now you've got another thing to look out for. But again, it's now is a really good time to get into it, while everyone's kind of essentially learning the game. So we've got Mystic, Flan. I guess I'll keep Flan there and explain that in a bit. We've got Usher, Archer, Black Mage, Scholar, Viking, Ghoul, Gladiator, Sid, Wedge, and a Hero Alexander, which again I think is a very interesting card as well. It's a new summon, Wind Summon, EX Burst, choose one forward of 9,000 power or more and just break it. So it's quite an interesting card there. So let's look at Flan and see what this does as a monster as well. Search for one card named Flan, add it to your hands. So yeah, you get to just be like, cool, I've just drawn Flan. Or not, well, I mean, it'll come in dull anyway, but where did I just have that Flan? There we go. Cool, so I've got a Flan, gonna use the ability, tap for one and put it sideways, get another one out, and you can already spam the board out with that stuff. Put Flan into the break zone, your opponent discards one card from his or her hand, you can use this ability during your turn. So yeah, it's quite interesting. Next up, we've got Sage, Summoner, Black Mage, Araman. I want to look at that, explain that card as well, it's quite interesting. Got Bomb, which again is a really interesting card. We've got Brain, I think I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it, Leviathan, I'm pretty sure that's my second one, March, again another really cool card that is. We've got Leviathan again, Lich, and I've got a Hero Strago as well. So Strago is another interesting card there. So here you have Grand Delta, divide 12,000 equally among all the forwards opponent controlled to round up to the nearest 1,000. That's quite interesting, that is. Very interesting card. So Aramin, this one here is put Aramin into the break zone, choose one monster of 5 or more, break it. Put Aramin into the break zone, choose one for cost 5 or more, or break it. So choose a forward or a monster of 5 or more and break it. So again, that's pretty interesting. Then we've got Bomb, which is put into the break zone, choose one forward, deal it 5k. So just for one, that's not bad. Really, really not bad. Next up, let's go with, we've got 4 more packs technically, so 3 more still sealed, and then the next lot. So we've got Monk, Goblin, Magus, Warrior, Viking, Chocobo, Yeoman, Foil Stetzer, so that's my third, so I've got a playset. Gladiator, Sid, Restrictor, not seen that. When a Restrictor is very make okay, so it's a search. And we've got a legendary Fat Chocobo, cool, so I've got my first legendary here. Not my first overall legendary, I mean I think in total now I've got 5, which is pretty good. So we've got Fat Chocobo, when it enters the field you may search for one Fat Chocobo or card name Chocobo of cost 3 or less and play it onto your hands. Choose one Chocobo or card name Chocobo against 2,000 power at the end of the turn. So it's a little bit interesting, that card there. It's also the first one I've seen that's a special as well from the game that it comes from, because usually it says, but it looks like this has been specifically designed just for the card game, which I think is quite cool. And it also goes with the artwork here as well, yeah. So yeah, it's another special artwork just for the card game. Unless it's actually for an upcoming game and they aren't allowed to announce it, which doesn't really make much sense because, I mean, Opus 1 had Final Fantasy 7 cards from the new game. So Magus, Doned, not seen this one. Choose a monster, dollar activate it. Alright, that's actually really cool. I quite like that. Archer, Bard, Thief, Zac EX, that's cool, that's my second one. Geomancer, Foil Black Mage, Gladiator, Sid, Lancer, and Mecha Chocobo, which again is a really interesting card. I've actually gone against this. So when it's chosen, so Mecha Chocobo can be chosen by summons. When it attacks, dole one forwards. Choose one dole forward that the opponent has and just break it. When Mecha Chocobo is blocked, break Mecha Chocobo. So that's pretty interesting little blocker that is. It's a bit tricky to get around that Mecha Chocobo. Really interesting. Next up we've got Red Mage, Mystic, Mime, Archer, Yeoman, Goblin, yes, just need one more, Bard, another Kefka, wow, damn, that's crazy. Bahamut, I really like this card, I think it's a really interesting card. Tombraze, yeah, that's good. Sid, and I've got a Tamar, the Hero Tamar. So this is similar to the old Tamar, but a little bit different now. It's a 7-drop, and it's the backup as well. So it works similar in that you can also bring something back from the break zone. Basically, that's how it works. But I didn't know we were getting a new Tamar. That's quite cool. And now we've got the last pack. So Sage, Summoner, Samurai, Warrior, Bomb, Brain, Babus. We've got Cleone, I think it's called. I don't know. It's actually a really interesting card as well. So when any player casts a summon, you can break this card and cancel the summon's effect. And when I say can, it's when you put it into the break zone you can cancel it. So it's quite an interesting premise. Marauder, interesting card. When it attacks, it gains 8,000 power. Gladiator, Sid. And Hope is my hero as well. It sounds a bit funny, that does. Hope the hero. So when Hope enters the field, you may search for one card named Alexander, add it to your hands, choose one forward, activate it. So yeah, it's quite interesting. I'm sure as you can see now as well, the Opus 4 is a crazy pile of monsters. Like I said, now's a good time to get into it if you are. Opus 4 is just going to be completely crazy. It's changing the way the game's being played overall. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that. The set comes out next week at the time of recording this. So yeah, keep an eye on that.